Cardinals and the Niners, 16-15, the final score in this one. The Niners remain undefeated on the season. Gutsy win there from them, and getting through a lot of their injuries, one of which is Nick Bosa, now out for the year with an ACL tear. That is a massive blow to this team, as if they weren't dealing with enough injuries. But victorious in this game. Their top players in this one, edge rusher Bryce Huff with a 90.0. Linebacker Fred Warner next on the list with an 82.4. Linebacker D. Winters a 79.5. Offensive tackle Trent Williams a 78.5. Ricky Pearsall, their wide receiver, with a 75.2 to round things out. And then Mac Jones played well in this game, an 80.7. On Arizona side of things, ooh, the ageless one, the fountain of youth, Calais Campbell. Looks like it's 15 years ago. 90.3 at the top of the list for the Cardinals here. Edge rusher Josh Sweat an 81.7. Center Yalda Froholt with a 79.5. Linebacker Mac Wilson Sr. with a 77.8. Tight end Trey McBride a 73.6. And then quarterback Kyler Murray an 80.4 as well. Close game, slugfest. What told the story here, Dalton?
I'm kind of worried about this Cardinals offense.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You should be.
Within this game, I think the frustrating part is a 54.7 receiving grade. Marvin Harrison with a big drop on a deep over that, honestly, if he caught, he might have scored on. Not getting a lot of help for Kyler Murray, especially vertically down the field. This offense it doesn't have the identity it did last year. And I do think they want Harrison, and obviously Trey McBride is great, and Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch, whoever else. I do think they want those guys to emerge in the passing game. Just not happening. 3 explosive catches, sure, but also 3 drops. 4 missed tackles forced in the receiving game, but 3 of them were James Conner, and 1 was Tip Ryman. And when I see Kyler Murray kind of quick game in and checking down the entire game to a 5.8 yard average depth of target, something's not right. This team cannot get vertical, and all of a sudden they're going to have to find some sort of offensively right now. The scariest part of their offense to me right this minute through 3 games is just Kyler Murray scrambling. If you keep him in the pocket, you make him beat you from the pocket. I don't see a whole lot here. And now that James Conner's done for the year with an ankle injury, I mean, you're relying on Trey Benson in the run game, and he hasn't been a workhorse like that in the NFL. He's had a couple of big runs so far this year. James Conner's out, and he's really been your most consistent player the last couple of years. The passing game is just kind of stagnant. I don't see a lot of creativity. I don't see a whole lot of explosive. And then even when you get it, the wide receivers especially, they're not taking advantage. They need Marvin Harrison Jr. to be the guy that they drafted 4th overall and the guy he was at Ohio State. That's not happening right now. This Cardinals team, their offense is not explosive, and they did not play fantastic football games in their 2 wins against the Saints and the Panthers. They got issues offensively. They got the safety the last 2. They took a lead on a safety in this game. There was a holding penalty in the end zone. They only scored 13 points in this game.
Yeah.
And the Niners defense has been playing relatively well, but it's not the most talented group in the whole league. This Cardinals, and now again, you don't have James Conner for the year. This is a problem. They have a real problem right now in this Cardinals offense.
Yeah, they're just too conservative right now. They won the turnover battle. They won the time of possession battle. They had less penalty yards. They still lost. It's got to be a recipe for a victory.
There are not enough. You could see it in the Saints game week 1, a little bit better in the Panthers game last week. This game especially, they are just not explosive.
No.
They don't have enough speed. They don't attack
Kyler's
downfield.
not trusting whatever is downfield.
No.
Whether they're open or not. And it doesn't help that, one of the few plays, Marvin Harrison Jr. is wide open. He just drops it.
Yeah.
No one's around it.
That
doesn't help.
There was another play where they got a big gain down to the 1 on a DPI. There was a throw that Murray made on the roll into the end zone for Harrison. Tougher catch than that one because that was basically like catching a punt. Still couldn't haul it in. Would have been a touchdown. They scored the next couple of plays with Trey McBride. But this is a very plodding offense right now, and the stars of it are not really playing the way that they need to be playing.
They had 1 drive over 1:39 in the second half. One drive. That's just never going to win you a football game. 4.4 yards per attempt average this season. That's the lowest in the league. And I think that's the part that shines the most is when I went back and I watched this game, I don't think they're operating the offense terribly. I don't think Kyler isn't seeing things the way he needs to. I don't think he's being reckless with the football. They're just not winning downfield and they're not throwing it downfield. No. That's it. And they're going to be in a lot of these low score games if that's the case. I mean, they're at this point, they're lucky they hung on to beat Carolina last week.
Right, and their defense is better. They set out to make their defense better this offseason. I think their defensive line's playing great. They've managed in this game for the most part, despite a million cornerbacks being hurt, right? They're dealing with injuries on defense, but they need to score. And I'll be honest with you, as loaded as this division is, every team, they all have a winning record, and the Cardinals are 2-1, but eye test, and even the grading probably tells me this also, the Cardinals look like the fourth best team out of those four. Mm-hmm. They just and the Niners are battling through. They're doing it with Mac Jones and a bunch of injuries, and they're only adding more to it. But the Cardinals look like fourth out of these four teams. Yeah, because they didn't even play that well against the Saints and Panthers.
And look, it was always going to be a tough division, and I think there will be ebbs and flows on this division throughout the entire season because it's close and contested. But Cardinals, yeah, I mean they have got to get in the lab and design some plays where Kyler can attempt some deeper throws. They have to be able to do it, or they're just not going to score enough points. Ricky Pearsall was my most impressive player. 11 targets, 8 catches, 117 yards. I mean, Ayuk is obviously still not out there. Juwan Jennings wasn't out there. They're just Christian McCaffrey's kind of, they're hoping that he could be a lot of things for this offense, but he's not the explosive guy. They've needed some massive catches from Pearsall. George Kittle not out there. I forgot to mention him, and he has been able to deliver for them, and I think he has been a huge part of this. And if they did not have Pearsall, I do not know where this offense would be. I don't think that they're in the position that they're in right now, being 3-0 on the season.
And credit to Mac Jones as well. Other than the one interception he threw, it was pretty bad. It was one interception he threw in the fourth quarter, but Mac Jones has been terrific through 2 games. Yep. He's done everything Kyle Shanahan's asked. If he had to play next week, he'd probably go out there and play something close to winning football again. I think it speaks to Kyle Shanahan and you know, not asking Mac Jones to do anything outside of himself. You know, I think that's what you want out of a backup quarterback. I mentioned that with Marcus Mariota earlier. I'm going to be honest with you, Trev. With all these injuries they've had, with Kittle being out for a while, with Nick Bosa now done for the year, Juwan Jennings not 100%, and Brandon Ayuk, and whoever I'm missing, let me know. I'll be honest, I think and people were kind of in on a Niners bounce back because of the schedule, and the easy schedule is only easy if you're good, but I think if they make the playoffs, I think you have to hand Kyle Shanahan coach of the year.
Yeah, you really might.
He will be. Kyle Shanahan should be the coach of the year, and I know it's week 3. I'm saying it early. He should be the coach of the year if San Fran makes the playoffs, because this is just. I mean, now you just lost Nick Bosa the whole year, one of your 2 big guns on defense.
It's brutal.
That's crazy.
It's brutal.
And they're 3-0 and 2-0 with Mac Jones, and just keep playing.
Yep.
He should win Coach of the Year at wild card division. Whatever. If San Fran makes the playoffs, Kyle Shanahan should absolutely be the Coach of the Year. I'll say that 15 weeks ahead of time.
Shanahan gets an unnecessary amount of hate because of the Super Bowl.
At least he was in them.
No.
I don't know what that feels like.
Like people, because they choked the Super Bowl, and a lot of it wasn't fully on play calling, but play calling is a reason why they did not win that Super Bowl against New England Patriots. I think people.
I thought you meant this last one against KC with the coin flip.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not even saying that. Like I'm just saying.
You're going way back.
I'm saying the Falcons. Like I still think that people hold that Super Bowl against him because he is, no question about it, one of the best coaches in the NFL. He has been for the last 7 years. He has been one of the best coaches. Has he been perfect? No, but he is absolutely one of the first 5 names out of my mouth is like, hey, you're starting a football team. You need somebody to be your head coach. Kyle Shanahan's one of the first names that I'm mentioning. He is. And I would have said that long before this conversation that we're talking about here. I wrote a head coaching ranking list like last year, and I had him like 4th. And that was the biggest, like people were freaking out about it because they think Kyle's a bum. And anyways. I agree with your take. If they end up making the playoffs with everything that they have had to go through, and that's coming from somebody who I didn't really believe in the Niners coming into this year. I thought the Niners were going to be fine, but I thought that the team wasn't going to be there yet. That wasn't even considering the injuries that they have suffered through the first 3 weeks of the season. If they make the playoffs, I think he's got a strong case to be Coach of the Year. Anything else before we move on?
Most impressive. Just want to throw it out there, and he's only going to get more important. How about Bryce Huff reuniting with Robert Saleh? 89 pass rush grade, 5 pressures and a sack. It's all same thing. Just get back with Robert Saleh, get in that wide 9 and get after it. Bryce Huff has a 90 pass rush grade through 3 games. And all of a sudden, with Bosa out, how important does he look? And how important does that trade look that they might at least have some semblance of a pass rush without Bosa because they have Bryce Huff in there? He was incredible in this game.
He was.